Salvete omnes, salvete amici. Nomen mihi est Decimus Aurelius Ingeniarius. Hello, everyone. Good day, good evening, good night from wherever you are watching us in the world. I tell you what, it is a pleasure to be here this evening on what is episode 4 of our Republic of Rome board game broadcast with our batch of 6 players taking control of a faction in the ancient Roman Republic. So we last left our senators and our republic just after the consuls were elected in our last session. So we've given a good chunk of time for our new consuls to collaborate, work out who's who, but also then for our Rome consul to deliberate on what their potential proposals are going to be leading into the Senate session this evening. So we may see a more efficient, faster Senate session this evening, but I do know this group loves to have a hearty conversation, which is certainly encouraged, and really talk out their options. And that's certainly something I appreciate being a part of it as a facilitator as well. So it's really good. I don't think we should delay too much this evening. I think we should get straight into it. So for those watching live, bear with us. We're going to do a quick transition. Bring ourselves into the virtual tabletop environment, which is inside of Tabletop Simulator, and we'll crack on. So there we go. Stand by. Don't go away. All right, and we are back. We are live. I think we've got a video feed down the bottom, and I'm seeing some audio across the bottom. Hopefully there's no echoes, but I'm sure the audience will let us know if there's some weird stuff going on. Right, let's do a sound check for our senators. If I can have all the senators, give us a wave and a salvete.
Salvete.
Yes, good, brilliant, fantastic. Oh, cool. Yeah, all right, here we are in the Senate phase. All right, let's kick off. Let's head over to our consular elects, and let's see what's going on. So consuls, over to you.
Okay, so I would like to announce our new Rome consul, Fulvius, and say thank you for coming on board, and we look forward to a new era.
Hey, clap, clap, clap.
Thank you, and I gratefully accept the heavy burden that you've laid upon me to steer our wonderful republic into the future. I want this administration to stand for efficiency, so we shall move straight into the proceedings, and the first proceedings will be to elect a Pontifex Maximus.
Consul, if I may, if you guys haven't already, can I get you guys to take on your purple tokens and, of course, assign your very, very important influence. You'll find your purple tokens in the center, and something we can actually do again this evening, folks. So if you take an office from the center dais, you can replace it with one of your faction tokens, and that is another way to indicate which faction is holding which office. So you'll find your faction tokens right at the front of your faction. If you click and drag one of those, you can place that into the respective now blank white box on the dais to show that you are, or your faction is holding that office, which I think is a really good feature. So as you can see at the moment, the Red Aquila faction currently has one in the censor box because they're still the censor. And I guess our new Roman field consuls will do the same thing. But we'll just give them a brief moment to make sure they update their influence to their little white tokens. Yes, we can see the red faction, the Aquila faction, under Marcoedia, has taken on the field consul, having introduced the Rome consul. Very good. And Tiberius Cornelius places his Corona faction marker on the Rome console position. I like it. It's a great feature that Scott and the gang who designed this module put in. I think it's a good feature. So, Poach Trout in the chat.
Is it 5 for field console?
Yes, it is. 5 for each. Yep, that's correct. In fact, you can see down the bottom right of your purple token there, will show you how much influence that office gets. So, yeah, 5 for both consoles. The only difference is obviously with Dictator, which obviously gets a nice full 7. Most other officers, bar Pontifex, Pontifex Max is 5 as well. Master of Horse is 3. Very good. All right. Yeah, thank you for that brief point of interest there, Rome console. I think the floor is back over to you. I think we've done all our administration there. Brilliant.
Thank you. I thank you for reminding me of the administration. I had thought there'd be some flunkies that would take care of that for me. I thought that might be a trapping of office, but maybe something we need to arrange for future.
Maybe.
So, as I say, with no further ado, I look to nominate Manlius from the Parma faction as Pontifex Maximus, and I shall ask my dignified field consul to lead off the voting, please.
Okay, 7 votes in favour.
Thank you. I'll also ask Lunafaction Apius to vote as well, please.
Who is nominated? I don't see the nomination marker. Sorry.
Yeah, that'll be the flunkies not doing their thing again. So
Okay. Nay.
Make sure you announce your votes orally as well, folks.
7 votes
Thank you.
against.
That's for the benefit of the audience watching at home. And actually for our scriber as well, who's making the notes on this as well. So it helps him out too.
speaking of which, I shall get Quintus to vote next, please.
Give me 2 seconds. Right, I'll place a 1 vote towards yay.
And I shall ask Marcus to vote next, please. Thank you. And Numeris, over to you, please.
I'm going to have to go 6 votes against.
And I shall vote 7 votes in favour.
Alright, the vote passes.
The vote has carried, yes. So it's good. It's a relatively clean vote from the Senate there. And we have a new censor now elected. So we'll just give the field a brief moment to award the office and take it from the dais, or probably from the Aquila faction in this case here.
Isn't it Pontifex Maximus? Not
Sorry,
censor?
was that a Pontifex Maximus vote, was it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I thought it was
Yeah.
censor. My apologies. Yes, Pontifex Maximus. All right, there we go.
So which
I'm
one?
clearly not paying attention.
So that is +5.
Yes, correct.
Let it just be known that if disaster strikes again, like previous ill omens, that I voted against my ascension.
I think merely talking about that is an ill omen of its own.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, you might be right.
Okay, we'll move on to the next stage. I would like to nominate Junius from the Parma faction to be censor, please.
There we go. And now we're looking at censor. Okay.
I shall vote first, 7 votes against. I'll go to Marco, please.
7 against.
I'll go to Apius, please.
If you're willing to bring prosecution against other senators, I would be willing to vote you into office.
I'd like your vote, please, Apius.
Nice.
I'll take a vote now from Marcus, please. I'd like a vote from Quintus, please.
Just give me 2 seconds. My scribing that document is
Yes,
not
certainly.
working at the moment.
While I'm
Yes.
awaiting you, I'll move to Numeris to vote, please.
Sorry, 6 in favour.
Thank you.
Alright, so what was the proposal again? It was
for Junius of House Parma to be elected censor.
Alright. I shall put my 1 vote in favour.
So it looks like that proposition passed.
Uh-huh.
Yes, it has.
So now we have a censor elected. Okay. Under Junius. On the blue faction there. The graffiti artist.
Let the record show that I fulfilled my arrangements with Apius in the last game.
Where is the record actually written down? I can't see it.
Is that
The record is written in my notes.
very good.
Which notes? Where is it? Where can I read it? again?
You can read it if you click up the notebook at the top, and you can scroll down to Senate Session 3.
Senate.
Very good. All right, so we're just we can see that yes,
It's pretty cool.
Junius has taken on his sensor
Yeah,
token. Very good, and you've provided him his new influence, have you?
I'm just doing that now.
Very good. I can take that out of the sensor box, and for you, I can put that up in that box. There we go. Excellent. Lots of blue up on the dais.
Just give me a second.
Yeah, take your time. So for the audience watching at home, you'll often find there are some brief pauses and not much chatter going on because you'll find that some of the senators are having perhaps having discussions in the background or using the text box within the module to communicate with each other. Often working out, there's a lot of deals that are happening, a lot of discussions going on. Sometimes players are seeking advice from each other about positions, etc. Very good.
Okay.
If you haven't taken your vote tokens back, folks, you could probably do that as well.
Yep, that's me. Just trying to see if there's anything else I need to do.
And for those watching, what we're about to see is the Rome Consul is going to temporarily hand over the Fuscus and the chair of the presiding magistrate to the censor to consider his deliberations for what could be prosecution. So we'll just give a moment to the censor to smooth his hair over and think about that.
Yeah, I'm just checking out the field.
That's okay. That's all right. Like I said, we are not in a rush. I'm not. You guys are certainly take your time. I'm all for you guys playing a solid game and thinking about your strategy. And people watching this on YouTube in the future can always skip through it, right? So it makes it easier. Not so easy on a live stream for those watching the Twitch. But that's all right. It's all viewpoints in the end. Very good.
Okay. As censor today, what am I going to do? I wasn't expecting to have power thrust upon me, so I'm a little bit taken aback. Well, I'm feeling pretty generous today, guys. No prosecutions. I'm closing up shop today.
It seems to be what we usually see from our games is the censors are quite passive, aren't they? All right, so what's the final remark or announcement that you have to make, censor, before we move on?
Everyone can hide their corruption markers.
That's right. That's one we often forget, isn't it? So yes, everybody can now hide the corrupt portion of their concession cards and then remove your red corruption tokens, either pop them back in the bag or if you do have the power to delete, you can probably just delete those because it is from an infinite bag. But yeah, if you just drop them back on the corruption bag, it'll reabsorb your corruption tokens. So yes, make sure there's no red left in your area. No more corruption for anybody. There we go. Good. Everybody's been wiped clean. Pardons for all. Excellent. All right, and we see the Fuscus has returned to the Rome Consul now. So the Rome Consul will now take over the Senate again as presiding magistrate after the censor has made the decision not to prosecute anyone, which is remarkable to see yet again in one of our sessions, but perhaps not uncommon historically from these sessions. But there we go. I won't talk anymore. Back over to the Rome Consul.
I do get a vague sense of disappointment from you, Decimus. So we'll move on to the next proposal. I'd like to invite Aurelius from the Aquila faction to co-sponsor a Type 1 land bill with me.
Yes.
Okay. Quintus, I can see you speaking, but you're on mute.
That would probably help. Just a quick point of order. We have to do governmentship first. So we have to decide if we want to recall our government.
True, yes. Some mandatory considerations there potentially, but maybe the Rome Consul has already considered that because there are no current live governorships to amend. So, but yeah, I guess it helps to acknowledge whether there's been any considerations for the governorships. But certainly, I think the Rome Consul is within his right to carry on.
Yeah, I do thank you for that, Quintus.
So no
for that
recallments?
prompt, but no recalls, no.
Got it.
So the proposal is for a Type 1 land bill.
Yes.
So I shall put it to the vote, and I'll ask.
Just point of interest there. You've just got to define exactly in your factions who a sponsor is going to be and who the co-sponsor is going to be. Yep. And feel free to use. We've got special the markers up in that little marker area of nominees. You can use. There's a sponsor and a co-sponsor bar.
Fulvius and Aurelius will be the sponsors. Fulvius from my faction, and Aurelius from my fellow.
You can see the brown ones. If that helps, you can see sponsor and co-sponsor. You can use nominee, it doesn't matter, but there is obviously some made ones specifically for land bills, which makes things easier. There you go, nice. Well done.
So if Quintus, if you're ready, we'll proceed with the vote.
I am ready.
So Marco, could you vote, please?
7 votes in favour.
I'll vote next, 7 in favour. Marcus, over to you. Thank you, and we'll proceed in clockwise order. Nemerius, to you, please.
Marcus Decimus, make sure you announce your votes orally when you place your votes, please.
That's 6 votes for me, thank you. In favour, apologies.
Quintus, over to you.
I shall put my 1 vote in favour.
And APS to you, please.
7-8.
So
That
it
vote
passes.
-2 for everyone, right? What is level 2?
No. If you voted in favour, you're good. Oh, but you did vote against, so yes, you are correct. So a minus popularity hit for you, and obviously you're
But
aware
how many?
of that.
Was it a level 2 or what?
So it's based on the table. I think it's just 2 for a
it's-
Type 1 land bill.
It's 1.
It might just be 1 popularity, I think. So yeah, under Type 1 land bill, voting against is -1 popularity. There you go. Not too much of a hit. It's just -1 for your faction. But yeah, you're already aware of that. That was very good. That was going to fly past my eyes. If somebody wants to flip over the Type 1 token on land bill area, yeah, very good. Just make sure that we pay for that at the right time.
Oh, sorry, I just
And
took the
the
money out
unrest
now.
level
Let me
has
put
been
it back on.
lowered.
No, yeah, not yet. We only pay for the land bills during the revenue phase.
Yeah, noted. Thank you. Sorry.
The unrest level has been lowered to 3.
Thank you.
Good, and we've done the unrest level. Good. Somebody's paying attention to that as well. Fantastic. And obviously, the sponsor and co-sponsor, you guys gave yourselves popularity boost as well. Yep.
Oh, by how much is it?
So it's the opposite. So a sponsor gets 2 popularity, co-sponsor gets 1. Everybody else doesn't get anything. They just don't get a negative hit. But the sponsor and co-sponsor do get an increase in popularity because the people love it. So yes, sponsor gets 2 popularity, co-sponsor gets 1 popularity boost.
So domestic needs attended to. We might now turn our minds to foreign affairs, and specifically those of the military nature. The Illyrians have been running rampant in Illyricum for 2 years now, and it's time that we dealt with them. So therefore, I propose to attack, essentially using our full strength while withholding the veteran legion for the reasons that we've withheld them in the past. So the proposal is for Aurelius to lead a force of 4 fleets and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 legions to attack the Illyrians.
Oh, hello. Someone's thrown a tribune out. Who threw that one out?
Me.
Very good. Talk to us about it. What's happening?
Does it now reserve for the next one, or was
Yes, it
this
does.
not a formal
Yeah.
proposal?
If you're planning to throw a proposal in, you have now reserved the right for that next proposal. That is correct.
Okay, so
All right,
we'll continue with this
carry
one
on.
in the meantime.
Yep.
So we move these over here, I take it.
So was it 15 troops you said?
Let's double check. 6, 11, 15, yes, 15.
Perfect. Alright. Let me know when we're calling votes.
So I might look to the Pontifex Maximus's faction to vote first, please.
This was for the war.
Sorry, just for my benefit, the benefit of the audience, do you mind reiterating what the proposal is again, just so it's nice and clear, and probably the
Yes,
scriber might like that as well.
Proposal is for the field consul Aurelius to lead a force of 15 legions to attack the Illyrians, supported by 4 fleets.
Cool, thank you for that. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Now, what's the number for the Pontifex's extra votes? Is it just 1 extra, or is it double?
Yes, correct.
Just
Sorry, it's
one?
double his personal vote. So currently, what are the personal votes of the Pontifex Maximus? 2. So you get to double that, so it'll become 4 for him, and then you'll plus the extra 2 that you've got under Junior. So you'll have a total of 6 votes.
Shouldn't I have 8? I got 6 already.
So
Yes, so
you've
I
currently
got
reading your senators. You should only have 4 votes right now,
Oh.
unless you're missing some knights or something somewhere.
Oh yeah, I got 1 knight. That's what the Oh no, I have 1 knight.
Two oratory,
Yeah, don't worry. I just moved the token before because when I was shuffling the corrupt cards, I was like,
Yeah.
where'd this random token come from? So that was my knight token because I was just thinking.
Yeah, I thought you might have had some
Okay.
knights as well. If you want to
Likely
restore that,
story.
Yeah.
I believe he had
And-
2 knights.
Yeah.
we'll be able to verify and watch the previous footage. So that makes you'll have actually 8 votes now. Yes, if you've got 2 knights amongst your 2 senators, whoever that, we'll verify that later.
Wouldn't
but,
you get an extra vote with the extra oratory from the disbanded legion?
True. Don't forget that as well.
No, I think
that is
I had
correct.
1. I'm pretty sure I had 1 knight. So.
Yeah, and you've counted that. You've counted that
Yep,
influence as a part of your. Yep. So sorry, your oratory is a part of that. So
6,
yes.
Yep. So that's so that'll be 8 then total. I'll just change this temporarily. Oops. Temporarily.
Yeah, that makes
So
sense. Good.
Thank you.
So if I can pick that up, that'll be 8 votes in favour.
Thank you. And I will ask the Pontifex Maximus
Only
to
to
start
remind the
considering a
Pontifex
speech to make to the
Maximus.
field consul at the appropriate time.
Yep.
Only to
The
remind
next
you what-
votes will go to Marker, please.
Yeah.
Sorry,
Remind-
Rome Console. I think
Yeah.
Appius Rufius was trying to say something. Appius Rufius.
Yeah, only to remind the Pontifex Maximus, he could deal out a priest in order to boost his influence and his voting
Yeah,
power.
when I can. Yeah, when's the timing for that? Oh, well, I don't need to
Every
do it now, but-
time in the you can
Anytime,
do
yep.
every
Okay,
anytime.
cool.
Sorry, thank you, Rome Console.
7 votes in favour.
I'll vote next. 7 in favour. Marcus.
I'll place my 10 votes in favour.
Thank you, Quintus.
I shall place my 1 vote in favour.
And finally, Appius.
Nay.
Thank you.
I just had a quick check, by the way. He did have 1 knight onto that senator.
Thank you for checking. Good on you.
And also just a
Really,
reminder, I
yeah.
believe our field
Oh, no,
consul
Rulers.
is now away from Rome upon a successful vote.
Yep.
Fantastic. I'm just getting the away, putting Aurelius's armor on. I'm going to put the search function on those to speed that up. There we go.
I think I yield the floor now to Appius.
Yes. Emilius as a sponsor and Valerius as a co-sponsor propose a Type 3 land bill.
Type 3 land bill is the
I'm just-
proposal. Sponsor and co-sponsor are within the Lunar faction. I'm not going to necessarily say what it is exactly, but there is special rules concerning when there is a sponsor and co-sponsor from the same faction for a land bill, but I won't say any more than that for now. For the players to work out.
I will go first of all to Numerius to vote, please.
sorry, just on mute. I will use a tribune and veto this proposal.
It's not possible to veto a
No?
land bill proposal or not.
Is it,
It is possible.
is it not a
I
proposal?
would believe it is possible. What's your reasoning there,
Okay.
Rufius?
Okay. No,
Well, no,
okay.
let's check.
So
Let's.
if you
yeah,
cite, sorry.
But
yeah, I believe it is possible to veto this proposal, unless you got something else.
Can't you
which
use
you
your
believe
Pontifex
it's not?
Maximus power of veto?
You
Is
could
that
also, I mean, you could also do that. Yes.
is that for land bills? I thought that was only for.
So whose veto is that, by the way?
That's my one. I just dropped down.
It is. Okay, cool. All right. Yeah. That's this seems reasonable. He's vetoing on his turn to vote. And there's nothing else that's telling me that he can't veto. It's not by a dictator. Yeah, I'm happy that this is vetoed. All right.
So I'll put that one away.
Thank you. And I do believe that I will close this session of the Senate at this point.
Oh, boom, boom. Rapid.
Thank you.
All right, I can see that closed. Fantastic. All right, so I'm going to, for the sake of the audience and at home, I'm just going to quickly look at the rest of the Senate phase there. But once the session's closed, that's pretty much everything we really need to worry about. And then we are now going to move into the combat phase. So who would like to update our little dial in the middle there and then take us through to the combat phase? Yes, I thought Quintus Octavius might take us there.
Decimus at this stage is where you should have the Doom music playing in the background leading
Yes,
into the
yeah,
combat phase.
I want to try and get music happening, yeah, for sure. All right, perhaps although it is the field consul who's leading us into battle, perhaps the Rome consul would like to talk us through what's about to happen and then and talk us through the results, perhaps.
So what is about to happen is that history will be made. It'll be written by the victors, and it will be a triumphant victory no matter what the dice show.
I like it. So I'm going to change my view really at the combat results table, and perhaps we bring up, somebody wants to bring up the combat calculator and punch in some numbers for the audience at home to see what we do and don't want to see, particularly concerning the disaster and standoff numbers. So is there somebody who wants to do that from the tool menu?
May I quickly give my prayer to?
Oh, I love this. Yes, very good.
Yes.
To victory, if this is the appropriate time. Okay.
It is.
Just let me get ready. All right. Mars, our illustrious god of war, may you protect our legions today on the field of battle. May you flay the Illyrians with our weapons, and may we become victorious. Thank you.
Yeah.
Excellent. All right. I now have a view looking at the combat results table on the screen and looking at the combat calculator. If I'm just going to change this view a little bit. Hopefully it doesn't distort anybody else's view there. So we have the commander's military rating of 2. We have the strength of 15 for the Senate. War strength of the enemy is only 4. It's not too bad. Now, the disaster and standoff numbers we want to avoid is a 5 and a 17 on the 3d6. Thankfully, no leaders at this point. And we're seeing a dice roll modifier of 13. So we're going to roll a 3d6. And as I understand correctly, folks, we're going to add 13 to that roll. And I think that it's obvious when you look at the outcome probabilities, it's a 95% chance of victory here, which is pretty good odds. Certainly a good call, I think, to send the entire force along minus the veteran. Let them continue to sunbathe with their good results. So, in fashion, perhaps we now get the field consul, Mark Gawedia, to roll your 3d6.
And I'll do it really quickly to get the 3.
Yes, that's right. Yeah, click until you get 3 dice pop up, and that'll roll it out for us. So here we go. Mark Gawedia rolled a 3d6, and it looks like an 8. Is that right, folks?
Yep.
Total 8. 8 and 13 is certainly off these charts, and that is not a disaster or standoff number. That's very good. So we have a superior and ultimate
good
victory.
call, because it's still not impossible.
That's it. That's exactly right. There's always a chance of failure, isn't there? Okay, so now what we're going to do is nice and slowly step through and make sure we tick all of our administrative boxes to get things done. So first of all, because it is a non-provincial victory, we get to lower the unrest level by 1. So if somebody would like to reduce us from 3 to 2, good. Thank you, Marcus Decimus. Next from here, we don't need to draw any mortality chits because we didn't see any Legion losses, which is brilliant. Now, unlike we did last week, the assignment of a veteran Legion doesn't actually have to be random. So we're actually going to allow the commander to pick which Legion she would like to see become a veteran Legion, and she can take the corresponding token. So Commander Aurelius, or Marca Wedia, which Legion would you like to become a veteran?
Oh, what are my choices? Sorry, I've
quite a few.
All of them.
All of them.
Is it really like all of them?
Yeah.
Yes,
So
you
which
have a
one?
choice of any
What's your
single
favorite
one.
number out of those?
Oh, where we go, number 6.
Nice. So press the F over the 6 for us.
Yep.
There you go. And if you grab yourself the number 6 Veteran Allegiance marker from the little bag down the bottom there you go. So you might have to pull a few out to find number 6. But yes, we have the 6th Legion now becoming veteran. So yes, please grab the Veteran Allegiance marker. Yes, the search function may be useful there as well, and place that on Aurelius's card back in your faction.
I don't know how I did that, but that's amazing.
Yeah, search function's good, and it works on most of the features
Thank
in here,
you.
including decks of cards, except for my my commanders away from Rome. I've got to still set that up. Okay, from here we've assigned the Veteran Legion. Now, the strength of the war, folks, was 4. And as we know that the commander gets to increase their popularity by half, fractions rounded up. That's a nice round number. So both influence and popularity of Aurelius back home gets to go up by 2, Marca Wedia. So increase Aurelius's popularity by 2 and his influence by 2. There you go. That's fantastic. Very good. Let's have a look at the card itself. So it's assigned and giving us 10 talents. So if somebody wants to increase the state treasury by 10, if somebody would like to do that, yes, good, very good. The Rome consul's in there doing that. Now, eventually, when the other Illyrian War is defeated, which is coming up pretty soon, you'll be able to create a new province. But for the meantime, there is nothing further to do there. So we're going to go ahead and plop that down there on the discard pile. But now we got to remember that we have now deleted. We have now defeated a war, which is good news. Good news. All right. So Aurelius is. Well, actually, that's a technicality. If the war is defeated, I think he's still away from Rome. He's still got to do his declaration coming back. So yes, he's still technically away from Rome at the present time. But we'll ask the pertinent questions a little bit later. So let's check through our list. As so we've done unrest. We've added the booty from the war, which is really good. No mortality chits. The commander's received his popularity and influence boost. And I think that's about it, folks. Have we missed anything? I think that's everything. I'm pretty happy. Very good. Now let's check our cheat sheet, make sure there's nothing else to do at the bottom of the combat phase.
Just one
Second
quick
page.
question. Do we happen to have a token that shows a war now becoming a revolt? Because I believe the first Lyrian War, because we've prosecuted the second, will be classed as a revolt and we won't get the...
Correct, sir. Yes. Because we've defeated the last war in a series, any wars prior to that become a revolt. That is a very good observation. Now, we don't actually have a token for that, but that would be nice.
Marker on it.
So, yeah, maybe we put some sort of marker, one of the white tokens perhaps, and put 0. Actually, pop it over the talents.
Yeah.
That would be put 0, over the little talent portion, just to remind us that it is in fact now a revolt. And it ain't going to be worth zilch for us. So there we go. Good, well done. That's good. Yeah, thanks for that, Marcus Decimus. That's a very keen observation. I'm glad we have remembered that. Right. So at the end of the combat phase, there, we're looking for any unprosecuted wars, but guess what? We don't have any. So that's really good going forwards. There's no provincial wars for us to consider at the present time. And there's no war exhaustion, so no wars have reached an age of 6. So we get to zoom in on our little Centra token again, and somebody gets to update it from the combat phase to the revolution phase, and we get to do that. So I think I'm there. There we go. We are now in the revolution phase, folks. Very brilliant. Let's go down to our cheat sheet, and perhaps Rome Console, would you like to talk us through revolution phase?
Oh, not really.
Perhaps you could delegate that back to the facilitator if you like. I'm
I
happy to
would
help you
like to
there.
delegate that. I'd be much more confident that the rules are being abided to if it's in your hands.
Yeah, certainly. We aren't using our voluntary retirement rule in our particular game this time around because we're using a slightly different aging rule. But we are going to certainly step through that intrigue step there. So at this present time, all players can freely trade cards from their hand. So if anybody would like to discuss their hand or trade cards from their hand, or if there was an existing agreement that I wasn't aware of, now is the time to trade cards. This is the only time, in fact, you can trade cards. If you'd like to do so now. So we're not playing cards, just trading at the time being. Is there anybody who's considering this that needs a little bit more time to have a discussion with somebody else? I think we're all pretty happy. Yes, I'm just looking through the camera feeds. I think we're pretty good. Okay, I'm going to move on unless I hear somebody. And now what we're going to do is we're now going to go around the room, starting with the highest ranking available officer or official, and see if anybody would like to play any cards now, statesmen or concessions. Now, when it gets to Marika Wedia's turn, she gets to decide whether she gets to disband her legion. So we'll ask her that question when we get there. So back over to Tiberius Cornelius. Any cards you'd like to play at this point in time, good sir?
No. Thank
Good.
you.
Marika Wedia, your faction, any cards you'd like to play from your hand at this point in time?
Not at this point in time, thank you.
Not at this point in time. Now, do you have any plans to disband your new legion that you've made veteran? Oratory and influence bonus. It's a little bit similar to what our good friend...
I was going to disband it.
Yeah, cool. Now, just remember that the way that you recall a legion is you have to be a consul and you'll pay 10 talents from your personal treasury to recall that legion. Okay.
Oh, I don't have talents. Sorry, he doesn't have 10 talents.
Yeah. But you don't have to have it now. Only if you want to recall that legion later. So, would you still like to disband at this point in time?
I do want to disband.
Yeah, sure. All right. So if you want to flip over your legion token, if you press F.
Yep.
There you go. Now you don't necessarily have to. I'll leave it to you to decide how you modify. Whether you increase the influence on his censure token or not. But you can't really do that with oratory, so maybe you don't. But now you get one extra vote, so you can actually update your vote marker now to read from 3 to 4 because you get an extra vote there, which is pretty cool. And what we're going to do is I'm also going to put that veteran legion aside, just with this other one over here, just in this little area, just to know that they're the last ones at the bottom of the pile. So noting that the Senate can still draw those later if the need comes, but we're just reserving them to the side until we hit that bottom of the barrel, so to speak, if we get really desperate for troops. Good. So no cards being played by the Aquila faction. Across to Marcus Decimus. Any cards from you, good sir?
Negative, thank you very much.
Negative, thank you very much. Down to the drawing pad. Numerus Aurelius, any cards from your hand? No, nothing from you. Quintus Octavius, any cards to be played from your hand?
I shall be playing one.
Oh, cool. Okay, cool. Somebody's going to play a card. He's going to bring it out. Let's have a look.
I'm excited.
Oh, look at this. Cool. So
Yay!
Quintus Fabius Maximus Veracossus Concator 2 Alpha, and I think I've had a look around before. So Senator 2 doesn't exist out in the field yet, at least out
he
in
dead.
Senator's factions. No, he dead. So once he comes back out of the Curia, he will then automatically go underneath this statesman here. But right now he's still in the Curia, so he'll stay there until he's revived. Then he'll automatically come out under the statesman. But that's really cool. So while you're here straight away, you can increase your votes. So I guess you're pretty happy to get another senator back. So you're not
tripling his votes. Careful, guys.
Yeah, right.
And that good military rating, I feel like we might have a new election for next console. One of the consoles.
Maybe. Yes, that's right. Let's finish it off. Appius Rufius, any cards you'd like to play at this point in time?
No, sir, thank you.
No, sir, thank you. All right, let's look at our cheat sheet, folks. Let's see how we're going. Now, nobody has any more than 5 cards at the moment. Let's do our scan across the bottom of the field. Nah, it's pretty sensible down there. People are not hoarding as much as their previous games. That's good. And now let's ask the pertinent question. So we go through what we call this declaration of rebellion phase, and we're focusing here on Marika Wedia. Now, of course, we're asking the pertinent question of Marika Wedia if Aurelius will be peacefully returning to Rome and returning his legions back to the Senate Now, before you make that decision, of course, you can freely vote to see which legions will actually be loyal to you without making that decision up front, if you so choose, or you could just go straight away, yes, I'm returning peacefully. So, Marta Guedia, it's your floor to formally make some announcements.
Yes, I will be returning peacefully.
Nice, peaceful. So we can remove you away from Rome Marker. I can do that on your behalf. And now somebody can bring all. Yes, Quintus Octavius is there straight away, bringing the legions home back to the active forces box. And I can put Aurelius away. And Marta Guedia, you can update your vote token again now that Aurelius has returned. So remember, oratory plus knights plus your bonus from your disbanded legion. That will be your total votes now. If you want to add that up. Very good.
Oratory.
Yeah, very good. I'm moving some stuff around. Fantastic. All right, let me do one last check of our cheat sheet, but I think we're there. So we just do our victory condition check, although I think it's pretty obvious. Our treasury is in the positive. Our unrest level, I mean, I guess that really becomes pertinent to the population phase, doesn't it? We don't have 4 or more active wars, so there are no lost conditions, and we also currently don't have a consul for life. So we don't have any win conditions either, and no rebels that are winning really at the moment anyway. So thankfully, we get to move on. So we're going to zoom into our box and change that now to the mortality phase. We're now in the mortality phase, folks, ladies and gentlemen. Who hasn't drawn mortality chits yet? Let's see. Who'd like to have a go this time?
Me.
Yeah, me sounds good. So we're going to have the field console. If you'd like to draw out 2 mortality chits and place them in the little open area next
So do
to
I
the...
just click on it and something will come out?
Yeah, a quick click and drag like you do for a deck of cards, and something randomly will pop out. Yep, so quick click and drag, and place that just above the elder token there, and we'll see which 2 senators may or may not age this time around. Here we go. A quick click and drag. I haven't seen anything happen yet. Have you dragged something out of the mortality bag? I think she's reconnecting, is she? Did you reconnect?
I hear sound of
I think
dragging
I just
something.
drew 2 chits.
Yeah, I was hearing sounds as well, but I don't see anything coming out.
I believe they may have went into a hand.
Really? Are they down in
they
her?
are. None and 10. They're in my hand. Correct.
Can you put them back on the field for us in the area above the right next to the mortality
No.
bag? So did you say none and 10?
None and 10.
Oh, 9 and 10.
No, none.
Oh, it is none. Oh, there they are down here. Let's put them back up next to the mortality bag. So that's where we look. There we go. That makes it easy. So who has Senator number 10? Me. All right, and you've placed the elder token on them now. Very good.
Yep.
So you'll now have an elder senator in your ranks. Okay, so that'll change your thoughts on May, or maybe not change your thoughts, but certainly something for your future consideration. Very good. That's a nice simple mortality. But let's check the rest of our cheat sheet. Make sure there's nothing else we need to think about. War exhaustion. We have no war stage, do we? Imminent war. Let's think about this. Do we age an imminent war? I'm going to say no, because it's imminent. It's not something that's actually happening yet. So we're not going to age the imminent war yet under the war exhaustion rule. I think everybody would agree with me there. And we're not really using our existing aging senators rule from Avalon Hill, so we get to skip over that as well. So again, our mortality phases are much quicker than what they used to be. Yes. All right. Let's go through, folks. We're now going to enter into the revenue phase. We are now in the revenue phase. Who would like to bring up the tool for us? Somebody's going to bring open the revenue calculator. There we go. I'll look after the state if everybody would like to look after their factions. Click on your number of knights, number of senators. I think everyone's got a leader assigned. Let's see. We've got a type 1 land bill. We've got a type 2 land bill. Legions. Let's zoom in down here. We've got 1, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 15 legions. I'm going to type 15 legions rather. And fleets, we've got 4 for the state. Very good. We are using the Pontifex Maximus rule, and we are using the Provincial Wars rule. 0 active wars. Now, do we have a drought at the moment? I think the imminent war is a drought.
It is.
So that is actually going to be creating a drought effect for us. Is it as an imminent war?
Yes, I believe that's how we've played it in the past. As soon as it's
Yeah,
played, it has the token on it.
Yeah, I have a feel that, and I recall in my head that if there is a drought symbol anywhere on the board, yeah, it evokes its drought conditions. So, yeah, I'm going to stay. I'm going to state that we are feeling the
Wait,
effects of the
is
drought.
it is an imminent war and not an
Yeah,
actual
I mean that
Yes.
was
war,
what was causing us doubt, right? Whether an imminent war
So,
is invoking its drought.
Just
As a rule.
so last round we did actually play the card as a drought, so it is technically still a drought, or else we would be one unrest lower, as well as our whole entire
Okay.
rolls would change previously. So
Cool. All right. So yeah, the drought effect will be in place. I'll add that under our state there. Let's have a look. So the red Aquila faction is ready. Tiberius Cornelius is ready. The yellow faction under Appius Rufius is ready. So we're just going to wait on. Quintus Octavius is now ready. So make sure you've got all your concessions clicked, folks. All your concessions. And if you own a province, there should only be 2, I think, at the moment. Yes. It looks like our provincial governors have selected
Pontius
those. Good.
Maximus has to click Pontius Maximus, I believe.
Yes, Pontifex Maximus. Make sure you click Pontifex Maximus. Good.
Thanks,
You
forgot
don't want
about
to miss
that
out. Don't want to miss out on your money.
You're gonna need it.
Yes. Make sure you plus up. Yes. Very good. All right. So just double check everyone. Make sure you've added your concessions. Make sure you've added your concessions. I don't want you missing out on your money. All right. I think everyone's ready. I'm going to tick the ready box for the state and then click generate revenue. There we go, folks. So I'll everybody focus on your factions to begin with, and then I'll have somebody look after the state. But at the moment, I'll just talk through while everybody is assigning and redistributing their wealth between their senators and hidden faction treasuries. So the Red Aquila faction is getting 11 talents today total to play with. Orange Corona faction is getting 12 talents tokens, 12 talents to distribute. Yellow Luna faction is getting 8. Green under Quintus Octavius is getting 7. Blue under Numerius Aurelius is getting a total of whopping 15. That's amazing. And the purple under Marcus Decimus is getting 13. Let's talk through
Also,
the blue
Decimus, I would ask you scroll down under the purple income. There's an important notice.
Let's have a look. Yes, good that we picked this out. I know, well done. So your province was improved, and your governor gets 3 influence because of that, which is fantastic. So please go ahead and flip over your province out there in the field, and obviously the calculator has considered all that in the revenue calculations accordingly. But great, we've now improved Sardinia at Corsica, so that is fantastic. So that's going to be a little bit more of a favourable province now, and your governor
state
gets
has
3
been
influence
done.
out of that, which is really good. Sorry, what was that, Quintus?
The state has been taken care of.
Oh, well done to you. I tell you what, kudos to you for doing all that little administrative stuff. You've been right on the money with that. That's been really good. You're a very valued player. Yeah, certainly makes my job a lot easier. And governors, you should all update your term markers as well. So I think you're all from 2 to 1 now. So if you'd like to drop your term markers from 2 to 1, as per your drop-down information. But well done. I'm pleased to see players are reading through their printouts. But I was interested to read through Blue Palmer faction's notes there. So he got 4 talents from his senators, 1 from his knights. He got 2 from temple donations. His Sicilian grain gave him a lot, 8. Now I'm reading here. It looks like he took the
so
additional reduce your popularity.
Yet. No, I haven't
Yeah.
done it yet.
So if you want to reduce your
That's gonna
popularity on
announce
that
it.
senator, yep. So it's good that so you've ticked that box, but you'll reduce taking the extra concession. So that explains why you've got a lot of money there. Everybody should reveal the corrupt portions on their concessions. So I'm just going around the field, make sure of that. So Quintus Octavius, you'll need to do that for Terentius. Who else? Yeah, Rome Consuls is pretty much there. I can see that. I'll just help with Aurelius's. I'm just going to bring that out just a little bit. There we go for the Egyptian grain. I think everybody else has revealed their corrupt portion.
Why was it Sicilian grain +8?
Because he actually took because of the drought effect, he was able to take an extra hit on that, but at a popularity loss. So by sacrificing some popularity, he was able to take an extra hit of money on the Sicilian grain card. If you zoom in on his,
we counted this drought in effect with the imminent war. Okay,
that is correct. Yes, yep, as discussed.
Oh, okay.
So I bring it up. There we go. So he took the voluntary ×2 grain concession at a hit of -2 popularity with the drought in effect.
But what is the rule which is invoked in order to state that the imminent war
There
draw
have to be a
counts?
drought in effect. And if you actually read his concession card, I've got it up on the screen for the viewers at home. It's
Yes,
a voluntary ×2 concession. So instead of 4, it'll be 8. But his senator has to take -2 popularity.
So a drought on an imminent war counts as in effect. Okay.
Yeah, that is certainly my viewing. Look, if you like, we can ease ourselves, have a flicker through the rule book there. In fact, I can bring that up and do a quick Control F, and we can do a. Let's all have a look, shall we?
Also, just while I've got a chance, the public agreement between myself and Quintus Octavius is completely fulfilled, and I'm stating that that is fulfilled from my point of view.
Oh, good,
Quintus, would
okay.
you like to agree on your end as well?
I will agree with that as well.
There is in the index under D,
Yes.
under D, drought effect. An event or war that increases the unrest by 1. Did this imminent war increase our unrest by 1?
Yes.
Yeah, because
Alright,
we
so-
previously calculated that before. Yes.
Yes, that is correct.
Okay.
Yep.
Then okay.
I'm just looking through. Yeah, I'm looking at 1.08.12. Just to see if there's anything else there that talks about imminent war.
Yes, there is. Okay, so 1.07.33, right near the bottom of it.
Yeah.
It has some wars have a dying plant icon, which indicates the war causes a drought effect. Some
Right.
cards have ornament icons beside them, which indicates the war is active or inactive when it is drawn. When a war is drawn with the ornaments icon, it goes into the active, blah,
Yep.
blah, blah, but it doesn't specifically say, like, does it play at that point, but it is mentioned there. So I'm currently just through that section of the imminent wars.
It
says
seems
it
like
creates, even
icons.
selective.
Yeah, it seems like icons
Yeah.
do play an effect, even in the imminent wars box. We have an effect where it would move from imminent to active.
That is,
And
yeah, that is what I'm seeing as well.
And have we checked the actual rule on imminent wars to see if that imminent war rule actually
It does
gives us
not
any?
mention anything.
It doesn't mention anything either. Yeah, okay. This has certainly come up before in our games, and I think we're pretty comfortable. Obviously, last session because we accounted the drought then, and where the drought continues, I guess. Now, I mean, it's still in the imminent wars box, right? It hasn't moved anywhere since it was drawn, but we're certainly playing at this stage. Look, you know, we'll obviously be able to review post session, and we'll deal with that as necessary as it comes up. But I'm pretty happy at the moment for us to continue. All right, everybody has redistributed their wealth. Any money that had to trade hands has done so. People have updated their personal faction treasuries accordingly based on the wealth that they received. So if we look down at our cheat sheet again, the governors have updated their turn dials. So they're both down at 1 left, so they'll come back shortly when that drops to 0. The state has been updated thanks to Quintus Octavius. Now, the governors obviously get to spend for provincial forces. So let's zoom in down here. Let's start with Publius Cornelius Scipio Africanus in Sicilia. So you get 30 local taxes to spend plus any personal treasury. Are you looking to raise any provincial forces at this point in time?
Yes.
You got the bag there between fleets and provincial armies, so feel free to drag out at your leisure. And I can see Furious is considering that as well under his new local taxes there of 10, so he's going to raise a fleet. We're going to see one new fleet come over for Sicilia.
What do they cost again? 10 each, don't they?
10 each, that is correct, yep. We're going to see another provincial army, good. For those at home that are interested, so the maximum that can be drawn is written on the province cards themselves. So, for example, Sicilia can have a maximum of 10 provincial armies and a maximum of 5 provincial fleets.
Do they live on after the governor's returns to
Yes, they
Rome?
do. Yes, they do. They will live on after a governor returns. That is correct. Sardinia at Corsica can only have 1 provincial army maximum, but it can still have the 5 provincial navy. So yeah, different numbers for the different provinces there. Good. Governors have done provincial forces, and I think that'll bring us towards the end of the revenue phase, though. So I'm pretty happy that everything else there has been done. People's public deals have been met, and we can now bring ourselves through to the forum phase. There we go. We are now in the forum phase, folks. And we're now going to go to the highest ranking available official, where we always get to start and we get to do our magical roll to see whether we draw cards or events. The magic number is 7. So Tiberius Cornelius, you get to lead us off this evening at your leisure, 2d6. And let's see how we go. There we go. We get a 5 to start off with. You get to draw from the deck, a quick click and drag from the draw deck and bring that into your hand. Red faction cards stay with you. Black forum cards will come back out into the field. And I take it that was a personal one. So you'll get to hang on to that, knowing it hasn't come back out. So for you, we now get to go through your personal steps there. Would you like to make a persuasion attempt today?
Yes, please.
All right. Let's talk us through who's doing what.
What are the most important attributes again? Influence and oratory.
Yeah, influence and oratory of the persuader. Yes, that is correct.
So Fulvius will make a persuasion attempt on Julius.
Excellent. All right. So what is the influence of Fulvius?
Influence on Fulvius is 10.
10. I'll type that in. And what's the oratory of Fulvius?
Is 2.
Is 2. Very good. And I talked about the persuadee. So we're looking at Julius, who's currently in the forum. His loyalty rating there is 9. So we'll add 9 on there. He's not currently aligned. He has no money on his person right now. So now let's ask the question of Tiberius Cornelius. Is there any bribe that you're looking to add to sweeten the pot here? Currently, you can see your target dice roll is obviously 3. So you're going to roll equal to or less than the target dice roll.
Yeah, I'll use...
From the personal treasury of Fulvius, of course.
Yes, so I'll spend 6.
I'm going to spend 6. I'm going to add 6 to the bucket there. That'll bring you to 9. You're happy with that bribe so far?
Yes.
All right, so let's go around the field to see if anybody would like to make any counter bribes from their faction treasury, folks, from their hidden faction treasury. First of all, let's ask the question of Marcoedia, any counter bribes at this point in time? Are you on mute, Marcoedia?
Sorry, not at this point in time.
Okay, nothing from you. Marcus Decamus, any counter bribes from your personal, from the faction treasury?
No, I don't. I'm not able to do that, thank you.
Okay, Numerius Aurelius, any counter bribes? Are you on mute? No, good. Quintus Octavius, any counter bribes?
No, thank you.
No, thank you. Appius Rufius, any counter bribes?
No.
All right, this should be pretty good. Go ahead, 2d6 at your leisure, less than or equal to 9, sir. We have 5 and yep, that's equal to 9. There we go. So you have one Julius there. So make sure you add up your votes as well. You get an extra couple of oratory there, which is nice. And we have a senator join a faction, which is brilliant. Let's carry on the rest of your initiative there. So now that you've done persuasion, who'll be taking on a night roll today?
Let the new bloke have a shot at that. Julius.
Sure. Is you sweeten the pot with any of his newer found money?
Yes, he's going to spend 5 of those.
All right, so that's an auto. If you want to roll anyway, feel free, but go ahead and grab him a knight.
Should be right.
Yeah, one of your white markers there, and place that over his knight's box, and make that a 1. Is anybody sponsoring games today?
No, thank you.
And any change of faction leader?
No, we'll keep it as is, thanks.
Very good. All right, that'll wrap up your turn. Okay, Marcoedia, 2d6 at your leisure. Let's see if you get a 7 or not. Here we go. 1, 2, good. And it's going to be an 8. That's very good. You get to draw a card from the pile. A quick click and drag from the draw deck. And let's see what it is. Bring that into your hand.
Oh, did I
Not
take
the whole deck, please.
No, not the whole deck. It's got to be a quick click and drag.
Oh.
It's a bit hard with the mouse pad. Take that into your hand so you can look at it privately first.
Okay.
If it's red faction card, you get to hang on to it privately. If it's a black forum card, you have to bring it back out to us so we can have a squiz.
No, it's 1 for me.
1 for you. That's very good. All right, so let's step through the rest of your initiative then. Would you like to make a persuasion attempt today?
Yes, I would. And I would like to also play this card as well too.
To play a card as well. Let's have a look. Yep. Seduction card. For your persuasion attempt on your initiative, make an unopposed persuasion attempt against a non-faction leader senator of your choice. Now, no talents may be spent to defend against it on the initiative. So everybody else gets to sit quietly and watch your outcome. That's very good. Nice bit of seduction there. Why is it a lady on that card and not a lovely man, for example? I don't know.
Yeah.
Anyway, so who is your persuader this evening, Marta Claudia?
Papirius,
Curious, and what's his influence?
13.
13 is in his influence. And the oratory
He is 2.
is 2. Now, any bribes to make this easier today?
Yes, he has 11 on him.
What would you like to give to the bribe?
Do I get the money back? I was a bit confused.
If you win him, you will, yes.
Yes, I'll put all 11 on.
You may not have to put all 11 to get the optimum number, because remember, it's only 10 or less. Anything
Oh, okay.
higher than that is not worth it. So the bribe to get that 10 is 4.
Okay, well, I will be
Rolls of 10, 11, or 12 are automatic.
Oh, okay. So it is 9 or less. Yeah, my bad. So really, you only want to add 3 talents. Thank you for that. And it's actually written there on the persuasion calculator. So yes, you don't want to roll a 10, 11, or a 12
okay.
on
Three.
that.
I'm gonna
So you're going to add 3 talents. So place that on Flaminius's card just for the
I've
record.
just taken 3 off mine, and I'm gonna
Good.
add 3.
And you might need to grab a new token for Flaminius, perhaps.
Yeah, there we go.
Let's just double check his loyalty. His loyalty is 6. Sorry, we better update that first, because I may have given you a bum steer.
Yeah.
You may not have to give any talents. Hang on. His
You
loyalty is
don't.
6. He's currently unassigned. So really, you don't have to give him any talents. You can take that 3 back.
Okay.
You're at your maximum roll.
Sorry, wrong direction. Okay.
So you make that 0, and you add that 3 back, so you don't forget on Papirius. So you're already at your max roll because his loyalty is so low, and the influence of Papirius was quite good. So how come you guys didn't pick that up? You're just waiting.
I was looking at it. And
I
I
didn't
thought
know
it didn't
who
look right.
who she wanted to persuade, by the way.
Oh, okay. And just
wasn't,
confirm, it is
aware.
Flaminius ID 13 you're going for, isn't it, Marta Claudia?
Yes.
Yeah, good. Okay. So go ahead and roll your 2d6, a quick click, 2 clicks on your die roller, and let's see what you get. 6, 7, 8. That looks good to me. I think you've won him.
Oh.
Flaminius is now yours. Feel free to drag him across. Wow, 2 successful persuasion attempts in one forum phase. That's amazing. So you also get to add some more votes to your tally. So that's really good. Let's zoom in and let's finish off your turn. Anybody going for a night today? Who is going for a night?
Papirius will go for a night.
Certainly. And is he going to spend any money to make that easier?
5 talents, just basically.
He's going to spend 5 talents. That's an auto. If you deduct that from his tally there, and good, you've
Done.
added a night to him.
Yep.
Fantastic. Anybody sponsoring any games today?
No, not today.
And any change of faction leader from you?
Where are we? No.
No, that's okay. Very good. And that'll conclude your initiative. Let's go across to Marcus Decimus. You know the deal. 2d6 at your leisure, sir.
Roger that.
There comes the 2 die, and it's going to be 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So you'll draw a card. You know the deal. Red, you keep. Black comes back out.
It comes back out. Let me just make
comes
sure I
back
grab the right card. Yeah.
Yes.
It is 2nd Punic.
Oh, is it really?
comes
Interesting.
from-
All right, so I'm going to bring that up for the war. Oh, yes, 2nd Punic War. And as we can see from the armaments icon, it is going to become active. So that's going to go into the active area. And being an active war, that'll have some effects for our farming as well, coming up very shortly too. So that's a pretty hefty one, but I'm pleased that we got rid of the 1st Punic War before this come out. So well done to you guys for doing that. Now, we don't have any of those provinces out there, so that's good. But a victory here will create some new provinces for us, which is good. So fantastic. I'm just going to close that persuasion calculator for now. Sorry, if you want to use the ones down the bottom, the physical ones, you may, while we finish off Marcus Decimus's turn. Or was that for you, Marcus Decimus?
Yeah, that was me.
So I guess right. So you can bring that back up again if you were considering a persuasion attempt.
I was considering, yes.
Yeah. So if you want, you can talk us through that before you make a decision. If you want to run your numbers,
Sure.
certainly.
So we've got one more unaligned senator. So I was just considering what it would look like.
Sure.
Let's have a look. So, influence of 2, auditory of 4. So I think I will not have a persuasion attempt today.
Yeah, fair enough. All right. Who's going to be rolling for a night today?
I'll have my faction leader roll for a night.
All right. And how much is he spending?
We'll spend 4.
Spend 4. All right. So you just need to roll anything but a 1, I think. Yeah, you're good.
Ooh.
So he gets 1. Make sure you deduct your 4. Good. And grab another one there. Good. Brilliant. Any sponsoring any games today?
Yes, I will be sponsoring a Bloodfest.
Sponsoring a Bloodfest, and I'll show that for people at home. So a Bloodfest on here is a cost of 13 talents. That'll give 2 popularity to the sponsor of the games and will reduce our unrest level by 2, which is really good. So I imagine that's coming off your faction leader, yes, and his money has been deducted accordingly. Our unrest level drops to 0, which is fantastic, and make sure Alias gets his extra 2 popularity as well. Good. Any change of faction leader from you today?
Negative.
All right, that'll conclude your turn. Numerius Aurelius, 2d6 at your leisure, sir. So far we've got 4, and we need your other one.
Oh.
It's all right, we're going to add that. So we've got 4 plus, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's not a 7, so go ahead and draw a card from the deck, sir. Bring that into your hand. Red faction stays with you. Black forum comes back out.
That one stays with me.
Ooh, very nice. Would you like to make a persuasion attempt today?
Um,
Run the numbers if you like.
just give me a quick sec.
Yeah, sure. Take your time. Discuss with your colleagues as necessary.
No, it's all right.
You're feeling all right. You don't want to. You sure? You don't want to
Yeah.
have a go? Yeah, fair enough.
You guys are pretty close.
Yeah, sure. Let's have a look. Any knight from somebody today? Who's going to roll for a knight?
Yeah, Manlius will roll and he'll spend 5. Thank you.
All right, so that's an auto. Go ahead and grab a. Deduct the numbers. Lovely. Grab yourself a new white token. Perfect. Number 1. Good. Sponsoring any games today?
There's no real point, right? Unrest is at 0, so.
I mean, it's good for popularity if you want to.
It's only 1 popularity. No, I'm all right. Thank you very much.
All right. Any change of faction leader?
No, I'm all right for now. Thanks.
Very good. All right. I just noticed Manlius's tax farmer concession's not revealed. We'll have to pull that out.
I didn't take it.
You won't have a choice, I don't think.
I thought you did have a choice, to be honest.
No, you are forced to take your concessions. So if you haven't assigned some money, that would have been automatically calculated. So yes, you did receive the money for it.
No, I didn't tick it.
Oh well, you should have.
Okay.
So please grab yourself the extra coin, the 2 coin that you missed. And that'll then also subsequently reveal the corruption. I think there's only 1 concession. I think maybe that's voluntary, but yeah, concessions you have to take.
Oh, there you go.
There you go. Good. All right. All right. You're sorted then. That's your initiative done. Let's go down to Quintus Octavius. 2d6 at your leisure, sir.
Yes.
Okay. 2 dice have come out, and we get a 5. That's a draw from the deck. Bring that into your hand, and let's see what he gets. Uses the shortcut. Lovely. That's a keeper. Oh, wow. Look at that. Well done. Okay. Any persuasion attempt from you today?
There will not be.
Who's rolling for a knight?
It would be my leader, Terentius.
Leader Terentius. Spending any money?
3 gold. Well,
3
talents.
gold. Right. So you don't want to roll. So you get a 6, a 5, a 4, or a 3. So don't roll a 1 or a 2.
I'm still probably going to roll it.
All right. Let's see what you get.
No, we're good.
You're good. All right. So make sure you've made your deductions and increase your knights by 1. I can help you out there. There we go. Put that the right way. And you've got an extra vote token there. Good. And sponsoring any games today?
There will not be, no.
Good. And any change of faction leader?
There will not be.
Not be. All right. I think lucky last, Appius Rufius. It's going to be over to you. 2d6. You know the real. There we go. Coming up. We get a 6. Good. You get to draw a card as well. So no events this time round. That'll bring that in your hand. Red text stays with you. Black text comes back out. What is that? Is he on mute? Appius Rufius?
You're on mute.
Sorry, it stays with me.
Good. All right.
It's a
Very
red
good.
flag.
Any persuasion attempts from you today, good sir?
No persuasion attempt. Free roll. Free night roll with my leader.
With your leader. Very good. Spending any money for it? Just rolling.
No, a free roll.
Just rolling.
Yeah.
Very good. So unlucky there. And he's sponsoring any games?
No games.
No. Any change of faction leader?
No change.
All right, so that'll bring us to the conclusion of everyone's basic initiative. So let's go ahead and put Rome in order, everybody. So if you are holding a major office, please grab yourself a major corruption marker, please. They're in the center of the board underneath the dice, and you can flip them over to show the major side. So the little red corrupt box, press F, and then to make them major. So we're going to see one from the Corona faction. We're going to see two for Numerius Aurelius's blue faction there. And I think, oh yeah, and one from Marco Wedia's faction, yes. Should you grab one too, Marco Wedia? So let's make sure everyone gets their corruptions. Corruptions are in the center of the board underneath the dice if you're looking for them. Yes, that's it. Very good. Thank you, Numerius Aurelius. And make sure it says corruption, but I think everybody's got it down there. Very good. Corruptions for everyone. Excellent. Corruptions are done. Let's go back to setting our Rome in order. So guess what? We have the Second Punic War now active. So Rome Consul, we now do need to double check to see if any tax farmers are destroyed. So if we look at our card, it says if active, roll 1d6 at the end of every forum phase to destroy a tax farmer. So go ahead and roll a 1d6 for us, please, there, Rome Consul.
A 1d6, was that?
Yes, please. Just a 1d6 for now. See if any farms have been destroyed by the Hannibal.
Mine.
So yes, tax farmer 6 gets destroyed. So let's go place that in the Curia. Sorry to Appius Rufus there. So that'll get placed in the Curia down there under destroy concessions. But we get an opportunity to revive that. Thankfully, coming all up almost immediately. If we have a look again at our cheat sheet, once I get over my lag. And it goes immediately after. So we're going to start off by reviving senators, concessions, and then we'll see if we can get rid of any enemies, and we get to revive on a 5 or a 6. So, ready, Rome Consul, with your die. I'm going to zoom in here, starting with Sulpicius. Let's see if we can revive Sulpicius with a 5 or a 6 at your leisure. Or a 1d6, please, Tiberius Cornelius. He rolls a 5. Oh, very good. Well done. So that's first. There's one out. So Sulpicius comes back in the fold. Let's see if we roll for Fabius and see if Fabius gets to go back to Quintus Octavius. Another 1d6 at your leisure, please, Consul. He will roll a. Unlucky that time. It'll be a 3. So Fabius misses out, and I think that's all for our senators. Let's look at the concession. A 5 or a 6 to see if we can revive the tax farmer 6 concession. Another 1d6 when you're ready. A 5. That goes back to the forum. That's very good. Well done. You've done really well. You've been our most successful consul so far in reviving this. Now, let's see if we can make it a 3rd. Let's see if we can get rid of this Anatocus the 3rd. A 1d6 when you're ready. A 5 or a 6 to get rid of him.
Come on.
Oh, yeah. Come on. All right. Well done. He disappears. Well, that is the best set of consular rolls I've ever seen at the end of a forum phase, I think. That is well done.
I don't like to brag, but I think
not
you're
full
right.
marks, but that's still a high distinction, I think, on the field. So, yeah, well done. Now, please, everybody, check your vote tallies. Oratory plus knights. Don't forget, if you've disbanded legions, you've taken that into account as well. Oratory plus knights. Everybody check your tallies. If you've got senators out of Rome, make sure you don't count them. Senators out of Rome don't count towards your tallies, but oratory plus knights plus disbanded legion oratory extra. Update your vote tallies now.
1 point of order.
Yeah.
Since I have taken from my concession the money, how do we now? Can I take a corrupt marker, or is this not allowed?
Yeah, good idea.
Or is it that I'm not corrupt anymore? Because I guess it was the case that I'm not corrupt anymore now. Because
this is
I do not have
fascinating,
the
right?
bar.
You already took the money.
Yeah,
No,
you did.
But if I remember correctly, this is the thing. It's not allowed to take such a corrupt marker here in order to signify this.
Hey guys, it just occurred to me. We failed to do something with a war card. Sorry, let's come back to Appius Rufus' discussion just a moment. We had an event card that we didn't take into account. I'm surprised none of us picked up on us. Allied deserts. Let's have a look through that, and let's just make sure we did in fact successfully defeat the war. So it says Roman allies are wavering. All battles fought this turn with an event
we rolled a
even
21.
result. We rolled a what? Sorry.
A 21 total, which was
Right.
a plus 13, which means it was an 8, which means it was even.
All right, but I think we're still all right.
So no, even I believe is the one we have to roll.
With an even result. Yeah, he is correct. With an
Yep.
even result.
So we got an even result, which temporarily increases the war card's strength, equal to the result in the black die. But we rolled so high, I still think we defeated the war quite strongly. Yes.
Well, if we rolled an 8 on
What was
do
the
we roll?
result of the black die?
An
The
8.
question is,
well,
what was
it-
the result
it
of the
can't
black
have been-
die?
It can't have been an 8, right? An 8 would have been this.
No,
An
it was only
8,
on the
the
coloured
highest
die,
could
so
have
it can't be
been
any more than 6.
Okay, so
Yeah, so
even if
6
it
at the
was a 6,
most,
it is
6.
1. It was 1.
Yeah,
It
I was going to
wasn't a
say
6,
even
I
if it was a
believe there
maximum
was a
of
3.
even if it was a maximum of 6, I think that's still a victory for you guys, is it not?
But weren't there losses
Uh,
then? Or what? No?
Yeah, well, that would have
6,
made
there
it.
13
were
is
losses or
19.
not?
No.
That would have made it 10.
No,
The
6
strength of the
minus
war
6 is
10.
15. We would have lost some
Yeah,
stuff.
but
However, one of the dice I do remember was a 3.
Was
I
it
can
the, was it
also
the
try and
coloured
see
one?
if I can vote.
losses
I'm not sure.
amount to popularity loss
Yeah, true.
gonna try
So
and do a
it
vote.
changes things a little bit.
and influence. What is with the influence?
Let's just double check the so all about the results on a with even results. So what what do we roll? A 21.
A 21 total, but I
Wait,
believe it's the
right.
roll of the 3d6 that is.
Oh,
So
right.
we
decided.
A roll
can
of the
look
3D.
at
So
it.
what
We
was the
can
roll of the
look
3d6
in
we
the-
got? Was 8.
8.
So it was definitely even. So there is something that is counting here, right?
Yeah, wait, you can look at the game.
So,
log, right?
but-
What was the black die actually showing?
Yeah. So what was the coloured die in that 3d6? That's what we need to work out.
I'm not
So-
sure, but
Does it
I believe
report
one
it?
of the dice
Like
was
when we're-
3.
Yeah.
5. It says 5. 5.
Oh,
In the
you've managed to flick back in time.
Yeah,
So it was a
it's
5, was it?
I'm pretty sure it says Aquila Marco Video rolled 3d6, total equals 8, red die equals 5.
Oh, right. Is that through the chat or something? Did you see that?
Yeah, if you go in the chat, there's the game.
Yes,
That's what it
red.
says.
Wait, where is?
It's
Hold
right
up.
at the top. I have it. I can send I don't know if I can send a screenshot, but
Yeah, I can see it too.
I mean, what are the chances?
Red
3d6?
die was 5. That is
Yeah.
correct. So minus 5.
All right. So we
Would
add
be
an extra
what?
5 to the enemy's strength of that war. Let me just pull that back out again from the discard pile. Let's just talk it
Make it
through.
9.
See if we need to do any changes here. There we go.
So 5 would be what? Oh, geez, that's a 16.
Right.
So 2 losses.
So that was an extra 5. So make 9 total
Mhm.
of the war. We'll bring up our combat calculator. So what was our legions? We had 2 for the military rating, 15 legions.
Yep.
4 war strength is now 9. Die roll modifier was a total of
13. It's minus 5. It was a total of 21, which would bring it down to 16.
16. That's still a victory. We will see a
Yeah,
loss of
but
2
it's
legions and 2
legions,
fleets.
2 fleets.
Okay, so let's that's not too bad. So everybody happy that we've met the rule and it's still a victory. Everybody understood what we've just done.
Yes.
Who
Any-
did the persuasion? Who did the persuasion with the forum from the faction of Aquila?
Papirius.
Hmm.
So that's
Okay.
all right because it was Aurelius who went to war. So first of all, we've lost 2 legions. Is that correct?
Mhm.
All right. So I'm just going to remove. So let's remove the 2 legions. So I'm just going to put them in our random draw pile. I'm glad we picked this up when we did. Otherwise, Alan Richborough was gonna tear me a new one when he does his debrief with me. So the legions that we're going to lose are the 2nd and the 13th. So I'm going to put those back in the legion bag here. And Quintus Octavius, if you mind bringing all the other legions back into the active
Yeah.
forces box for me, that'll be good.
Not a problem.
Now, for every 2 legions loss means a reduction in 1 popularity. So that means Aurelius
also lost 2
will lose just
fleets.
1 popularity. So Marta Cawedi, can you reduce the popularity of Aurelius by 1 for me?
Do we have to get rid of 2 fleets as well?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's 2
yes.
fleets and 2.
Correct. So if somebody wants to delete 2 fleets as well, thank you. Good job. All right, and I believe it's a death chit for every legion lost. Is that correct?
Is it every legion or every 2?
Yeah, I thought it was half.
I know it is for popularity. Hang on, I'll be able to tell you. I've got my little handy dandy here. So, mortality chits equal to the number of units lost. So it's one
Okay.
each. So we've lost. Well, now it's a number of units or a number of legions. That's the next question. It would be legions, not fleets. So, Mark Gawedia, if you could go back into the mortality bag for me and draw out 2 mortality chits and just place them right next to the mortality bag for me. And you're trying to avoid a 9.
God.
A quick click and drag.
Oh.
That's it. So one's a 5. That's good. One's a 14. You're safe. You're all right. You're all right. I can put them back. So he survives. His popularity. We need to.
That was scary. Both those those numbers are in my faction. Thank you for getting those out of the auto draw.
Dear. Yeah, I'm gonna do some magic here.
The
Watch this.
unrest level by 1. Oh,
I
just sorted that all.
Sorry. No, it was still a victory. So the unrest level stays as it is.
Even for losing troops.
Yeah, no, that's fine. No, because it was a victory.
Right.
So the victory gives you your drop in an unrest level. So now Aurelius has the correct popularity because he lost 2 legions. He's done his death chit draw for those 2 legion losses, and he is safe. And we've now carefully. So the reason why that event card prompted me, because at the start of the forum phase, is that removal of that passage of time.
Yeah.
We technically skipped over that. So we have now met that allied desserts card. We can now take that away because that was in play. The war car is still defeated. It's back in the discard pile. It was still a victory. I think we're happy. All right. I'll review those numbers again later. Make sure it definitely was a victory. But I think we're all right. So you guys were lucky there. Okay, Appius Rufius, sorry, we cut away. So the question for you was whether you're still corrupt even though you've lost your concession. My ruling is, and I'm relatively confident, is that yes, because you took the money. But what happens because you no longer have that something showing that you're corrupt? And in this case,
so I want to go to. So if you're okay, let's check the rule under.
Yeah, please.
The following
let's have a look at the
number.
rules. Yep.
1.09.43.
All right, go across. Yep.
Can you read it out to us?
1.09.43 failed prosecution.
Yeah.
So if the prosecution fails, the accused goes free and may not be prosecuted again this term for the same reason. Each concession with a revealed corrupt bar is a different separate reason for prosecution. Yep. However, the accused must have the corrupt portion of the prosecution. Yep. If the accused has been convicted, all the concessions, none of his prior concessions is valid. Reason for a second prosecution, the same Senate. Yeah, so that hasn't revealed anything to me different than my current ruling.
So it does say, though, it needs to have the concession on him at the time.
Yeah, at the time of the prosecution, and I will
Yeah, I
not
see what
have
you're
it,
saying.
and so I'm not prosecutable.
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
That's my reading of the rules.
And I guess
I read that too.
if you take that from a real world perspective, you've just lost all of your land to an invading force. I guess it was destroyed. So it seems weird that because you've lost your property to then prosecute you for that as well. So all right. So let's say that there's no need for you to show any sort of corruption here because you've lost your property. So therefore, that senator can't get prosecuted. But if we find something different over the next week,
it does say
we'll update everyone. But no, that's a good point you raise, Appius Rufius, and it appears that you've got the concession of the agreement of everybody here. So let's play that he's no longer corrupt. As a result of that. But what a great study for us to consider over the next week. Okay. Whew, that was a bit of a spoke in the wheel, wasn't it? To think about that. Good pickup. We managed to see. That's why we've got to follow our cheat sheet so we don't miss anything, right? Maybe with event cards so critical, we need to. So for that one in the future, we should have left in the active wars box so we didn't forget it. I'll have to remember that for the next time. Hopefully we don't draw that one again.
Probably my next question. After the revenue phase, have we paid our land bills?
Yeah. The state does that automatically. So the revenue count. It's a bit funny because
one goes away now.
Yeah, good point. Yeah, let's remove the Type 1 land bill. Thanks for that. Maybe if I read everything on the state, it would have told us to remove that. That is correct. But yes, we have paid it, and Quintus Octavius updated the treasury for us. So I'm happy from that front. Yes, we only forgot to take away the type 1 land bill. So good pick up again, Marcus Decumus. Look at us cleaning up our mess. I mean, Alan Richburg is going to be like, in his
I'm
review.
just imagining him
See
writing
that,
his notes and then having to cross things out.
Gonna have a
That's
page
right.
of notes and just halfway
I'm
through
very,
be like, oh,
I'm,
okay.
I'm very thankful for the reviews that he does. He makes sure that we're following the rules to the letter.
Yes.
If
Thank you
only
very
we'd
much.
executed when we were supposed to. Okay, where are we? We're at the bottom of the forum phase, so let's try and get through this. We had just put Rome in order. All players have updated their faction vote tallies. Now, let's go ahead and move ourselves into the population phase. Crikey almighty. We're not far off being done, folks. Do you guys need a break? Do you guys need a rest?
No.
You're all good? Everyone's okay? We can
I'm okay.
smash through this?
It's good to me.
Mark Roedia, you're all right?
I'm fine.
Cool.
As long as I'm elected dictator for life, we'll be
Okay.
sailing,
All right,
guys.
good. All right. So we're now in the population phase, folks. Now let's go through and work out our unrest level. So for every drought and unprosecuted wars, good news is we have no unprosecuted wars. Bad news is we do have that one drought. So good. There we done. So we've got the unrest level for our drought from the imminent war. The Punic War doesn't give us one, does it? Let's have a look.
It doesn't. The second Punic War does not. The first does.
No, but the first does. That's right. But the first Illyrian is giving us that unrest. So there we go. Good. I think we've updated that here. Good. Now we get to hear an amazing speech for the State of the Republic from the Rome Consul. Rome Consul. So Rome Consul, over to you at your leisure. Let's hear from you.
Well, that came around quickly.
It did, didn't it?
Fellow senators, I'm pleased to be able to make this address to you as to the state of our fair republic. When I survey the fundamentals of Roman power, and it is with a sense of satisfaction, not for a job complete, far from it, for there remains much to be done. No, the satisfaction is from the emerging culture of strength and wisdom that those in this place are displaying. As a Senate, we have sensibly balanced competing priorities and find ourselves in a position to build our empire. Militarily, we have demonstrated to the world that Roman power is not to be trifled with. We have liberated the provinces of Sicilia and Corsica, and we've brought them into Roman society to their everlasting benefit and gratitude. However, Carthage remains untamed, and we see that dark power gathering its strength again. Fiscally, the state treasury is in good order. The prosperity of the state undergirds the prosperity of all of Rome. So our careful management of the state finances strengthens us all. Politically, the masses can observe good governance in practice, with the moral barbarity of some factions tamed by the even hand of Roman justice. Hopefully those behind those excesses have learnt their lesson and they are now consigned to the annals of history. Some generous land policies from the state, plus games sponsored by that fine faction of Solace, means our people are largely content with their lot, drought notwithstanding. How's this been achieved? I'm not going to stand in front of you and brag about the achievements of this consulship, though perhaps Livy or Herodotus may ultimately recognise them. Rather, Corona recognises our fortunes are a result of successive consulships exhibiting good governance. To these leaders, I say thank you. As I prepare to relinquish my consulship, it is my earnest hope that we continue to put first, last, and at all places in between, the interests of Rome and our wonderful republic.
Wow.
Always
tell you what.
fantastic
Yeah.
speeches.
We're worried about the lackeys not doing their jobs before, but whoever the lackey is that writes your speeches, amazing.
The speechwriter. Promote that man.
If I was wearing pants, I would have given you a standing ovation. That was fantastic. I really appreciate. That was a great speech. I felt like I was actually in a real country then.
Are you not?
Yeah.
Are you not pleased?
Are you not entertained?
I spend most of my time hallucinating. Well, very. That's fair. Let's just cut it there, folks. That was good.
Yeah, just end session.
Yeah. End session right there on a positive note. All right, let me move my view up for those playing at home to the State of the Republic table up here, where the Rome Consul is about to roll, warming up his die to see what it is. Now, what is the popularity of your Rome Consul there?
2.
Oh, yeah, 2. All right, so we're going to add 2 to any roll.
-1 for the unrest, so an overall modifier of +1 to the roll.
Okay, so it's going to be a +1 modifier. Thanks for that, Marcus Decimus. All right, when you're ready, Rome console, let's roll 3d6 +1. 10 plus 1, 11. No change.
No change.
That's
Excellent.
good. That's good. Yeah,
We'll take it.
I think you're going to be happy with that. We'll be happy with that. All right. And with that done and everything enacted, that'll bring us into the Senate phase. So, Rome console, your Senate.
Thank you. So the goal here is, of course, to appoint 2 new consoles. My nominations will be for Manlius of House Palmer, and our newest senator, Q. Fabius Maximus, from the House of Manus. Thank you, lackeys. I shall open the bidding with 11 votes in favour, and I shall hand over to Marka for the next votes, please.
I'm voting 11 votes in favour.
And I'll go now to Numerius, please.
7 votes in favour, please.
And I'll go to Quintus, please.
4 votes in favour.
And I'll go to Solus, please, to Marcus.
I'll place my 11 votes against.
And last of all, to Appius, please.
Nay. 7 votes for nay.
And we say nay.
So that passes.
That's a carriage. That was really quick. Let's leave our nominee tokens there because we're going to end our session there and to allow the consoles to consort over the next week and come up with their proposals. Yeah, that was much quicker than the last consular elections. That's for sure, wasn't it? So yeah, let's leave our nominee tokens there as a reminder to us for when we come back next week. All right, that's pretty good. Any final remarks on the Rome console before we'll end our session there? Noting it's still the Senate session being very much open.
Final comments for me? No, I've said all I need to say.
Good. Any other commentary from the rest of our factions before we head off for the day?
Just very quickly, I was trying to send Appius a message.
Okay. Appius Rufius, are you receiving your messages?
I was doing it correctly.
I wasn't seeing anything popping up, so I think you were.
There was before. I was struggling. Anyway, thank you.
Okay. Yeah, I see it now, but
All good.
All good. All right. Well, that'll conclude our session there, folks. So like I normally do, I'll do my end of session recap. We had a nice early finish there, so that's pretty good. And people can go off, maybe have some birthday celebrations. I think there's some birthdays in order. And yes, so stick around for those watching live or watching YouTube in the future, and I'll come back and give my recap, and I'll say goodbye to my senators in the background. So stay tuned and don't. All right, and we are back for our end of session recap, the end of session 4. Wow, lightning round that time round. It's amazing what happens when you can give the consoles some time to think about what they're going to do and to think about their proposals. So I like it that we finish at the end of our consular elections. We do that again tonight with Numerius Aurelius having Manlius as elected as one of the consoles. Excuse me, and the other console being our new statesman under Quintus Fabius from that of Quintus Octavius faction, the Manus Green faction. Very good. So we've got our new consoles. They'll consort with each other over the next week, and they'll work out who's going to be who. So who'll come back as field console, who'll come back as Rome console, and then obviously the presiding magistrate out of that will consider his proposals for the coming term, which will be straight away when we come back in for session 5. So what happened this session? It was a bit all over the place because we forgot that key event card, which was the Allies wavering there. But I think we resolved that correctly in the end. So that event card, yes, Allied desert. So based on a particular role in the combat phase on that Second Illyrian War, we had to give a little bit of extra strength to that Second Illyrian War card. And so we, you would have seen there, we at the end of the forum phase, we backtracked and just made sure we ran our numbers. It was still a victory, although we did suffer some losses. And thankfully our chat function in the tabletop simulator records our die rolls there, so we're able to scroll back through time and see that and not have to wait for our YouTube upload later. So that was good. So yes, that means that Aurelius didn't get as much popularity as they would have liked. Now, I guess then that begs the question: well, is the popularity based on the pre-event modification role, the post-modification role? So does he in fact actually get more popularity, not less? I think it's still as we calculated, but we'll consider that over the next week. But certainly lots of interesting questions about the rules have come up this session. Appius Rufius obviously raised an interesting point there. And I think in the end he was right with the conclusion that he drew from the rules, particularly when we talk about prosecution, is that he lost his tax farmer concession because of the Second Punic War. And the question was asked, well, does he remain corrupt even though he has the concession anymore? And obviously that is a ticket that a censor is looking for to see if a minor prosecution is possible. And if he doesn't have it, then obviously that makes him ineligible for prosecution. I mean, you could say, yeah, you can bring out a corrupt marker, but I don't. Now that I'm thinking about it more, I don't think that's actually the intent here. And like we discussed, from a real life scenario, if somebody's lost their property, then it doesn't really make sense. You then also prosecute them, I think. But certainly remains to be seen. So we'll have the lords of the rules consider that over the next week, and we'll tidy up the edges if there are any changes. But I think we've made all the right decisions on that front as well. But I'll tell you what, Rome's in a pretty good condition. The card draws have been amazingly favourable, almost too well. But I tell you what, that makes it really good for Rome. Unrest levels well controlled. There is a Type 2 learn build out, but that's not too much of a burden. I mean, their treasury is overflowing. It's at 159 talents right now. They've got a maximum force out there. They're getting the victories that they need in the fields of battle. They're doing really well. Some things to watch out for will be some builds ups of droughts or some hairy events that might get drawn. Obviously, the Pontifex Maximus just needs to make sure that he builds up his treasury. In case he gets a bad omen, but they drew no events in that forum phase. So I guess that was good, but could also be bad. I mean, there's some positives that can come out of the event draws, of course. So I'm pretty excited. If we can knock out a few or more of those quick sessions, we'll start to skip along really well. So at this point in time, I think we're scheduled to play again next week, although we will take Halloween off. Surprisingly, that's something we now do in Australia, although noting that we don't have a completely Australian playing field, of course. We've got an international field of factions. So we'll play next week, but we won't play at the end of October. So we'll definitely get at least one more session in for this month. And I'm certainly excited to see that next session. Well, I think that will conclude my recap. Very happy with how things are going. And we'll be excited to see you next week. So really, I guess until next time, thanks for watching. Thanks for your for viewership. And if you're watching this on YouTube in the future, please give us a bit of a subscribe and a follow. That always helps. And next time, Walete.